That was a season-defining 45 minutes from Arsenal Football Club there. Arsenal are primed and ready to win the Premier League. Of course, I am desperate for that not to happen, but I have to call it as I see it. And they are sensational. What Mikel Arteta has done at Arsenal is nothing short of amazing. Think about the perilous position that they found themselves in towards the end of last season. Do you remember when Tottenham turned them over and then they went to Newcastle and it was all going so wrong? The character and will to win on display from Mikel Arteta. His astute, clever, approach to the transfer market. He really has shone. And this team that he has put together has the perfect blend to potentially win the Premier League. I feel like they can do it. It is painful for me to say this, but it is true. That really was a statement victory. A night game, intense London derby under the lights against a passionate West Ham team. Their fans were there. You could hear them singing, desperately roaring their team on. But the momentum is still going with Arsenal. Look, I've been telling you for ages that I thought Arsenal were potentially going to win the league. There is something about this Arsenal team that makes us think it's possible. But the reason that most people would concede that they probably won't is because Manchester City are so strong. And I think to win the league, if Manchester City are doing what they do, under any normal year, you would go 90 points definitely wins you the league. Whereas now you're looking at it and you're thinking it's 100. So the question then becomes, can this team secure approximately 100 points? Well, it's almost irrelevant because they are currently 8 points clear of Manchester City. And they have put the pressure on Man City. They're 7 points clear of Newcastle United in second, but 8 points clear of Manchester City. And there were loads of questions that we were going to ask about this Arsenal team, weren't there? There were loads of questions off the back of the World Cup. Were Arsenal potentially going to be rusty? Was their momentum going to be halted by the World Cup? Was the intrusion of a World Cup going to be really detrimental to the Mikel Arteta project? Can they cope without Gabriel Jesus? Remember when Gabriel Jesus got injured in that game for Brazil against Cameroon? Everybody said this is going to be really damaging for Arsenal. Surely they can't navigate the rocky terrain that is life without Gabriel Jesus. He's so integral to everything that they do. The way that Mikel Arteta likes to attack, with sort of four attackers all sharing the goals. You know, not one person scoring 30. He has four scoring a dozen. But it's all about that front four press that Gabriel Jesus is so integral to. They can't possibly cope without him. Well, it turns out all of those questions, are they going to be rusty after the World Cup? Absolutely not. Can they cope without Gabriel Jesus? It certainly looks that way. What will they be like? What will Arsenal be like when things aren't going their way? You know, when they have a period of adversity, it's all very well in the beginning of the season when they're slapping up Bournemouth and whoever else comes their way. But you know, when things aren't going their way, how are they going to cope? Tonight is an example of that. Things weren't going their way. They were 1-0 down. VAR wasn't going their way. They're playing against a resilient, difficult West Ham United team. And tonight is exactly the kind of game that anyone who was saying that Arsenal will not win the league, and they were convinced that Arsenal will not win the league, tonight is the kind of fixture, particularly at half-time, that those people would say they cannot do it. It's not going their way. The decisions aren't going their way. They're not getting the rub of the green. They're 1-0 down to a penalty. This is curtains for the Arsenal title challenge. You've seen their third goal. You've seen their response to that level of criticism. Have you seen Eddie Nketiah's goal? What a fantastic strike it was. It truly was a thing of beauty. And there was a gorgeous touch in there from Ben White. Helped beat Ben Rama. He passed it off to Ødegaard. Ødegaard's first time pass was just outrageous. And Eddie Nketiah's spin to take him away from Kehrer shoots low and hard across the goal into the far post. Truly superb. It was such a good goal. Ben White, his flick deserves a lot of credit. Ødegaard was just sublime throughout, by the way. You know, we'll talk about his contribution to this goal. But Ødegaard was my man of the match, I think. I mean, Saka was obviously class, as he always is, but Ødegaard just pulling the strings, dictating the tempo, so intelligent, a beautiful skill. There was a moment of skill that the Arsenal fans celebrated the skill, and it was gorgeous. But they celebrated the skill as if it was a goal. It was incredible. It's such a good performance. And look, that third goal, of course, the credit lies with Eddie Nketiah. I feel like I'm being harsh on Nketiah here. because I'm praising Ødegaard, I'm praising White, and I'm about to praise Mikel Arteta for the finish. But it's Nketiah who deserves the praise. But I also have to acknowledge the contribution of Mikel Arteta, because that third goal to me is a perfect demonstration of what good coaching and good management can do. Eddie Nketiah, he's in the past been a sort of enthusiastic but wayward forward. Somebody who you can't, put your house on scoring. And at times, he's been frustrating. And look, towards the end of last year, he was scoring goals. But now you see him in a position like that and you think he's going to score. And to score that goal, which is very difficult, off the back of what happened in the first half. You know, when he had that opportunity to pass and he overplayed it, I think he was trying to play Saka in, he got it wrong. It didn't affect him. And Arsenal now, with Eddie Nketiah in their team, they look irresistible in attack. On the break, yes, they looked a bit susceptible today. Maybe a better team than West Ham would make them pass. But look, Eddie Nketiah scoring goals like that, a majestic finish, is really bad news for Man City, but also anyone that doesn't want to see Arsenal win the league. Really bad news, because they are totally capable of doing it. And I was on this channel before the Jesus injury telling you that Arsenal could win the league. Nobody TikToks me when I say things like that, by the way. Even when, you get me when it goes wrong, but you don't get me when I say something that's looking more and more likely. The Jesus injury, though, was going to have an impact. And how they navigate this Jesus injury from now going on. They play Man City fairly soon. They have a massive month coming up, this Arsenal team. And when you look at their next fixtures, in 1 month from today, by the end of February, I guarantee you that we will know who will win the league. We will know. Because if Arsenal are still top of the league in a month, I think they'll do it. I really do. They basically have 1 month to consolidate their position at the top of the league. And a huge, huge issue for them to navigate. But remember, Jesus got injured in that game against Cameroon. He had his surgery a couple of weeks ago. He's on the mend now. He'll be back in 2.5 months? He could be crucial towards the end of the season. So they need to be up there for when he gets back. And how they preserve their status at the top is really important now. Think about what they can do. I think because of their form, the way that they've been playing, I think they may change their strategy to transfers. In recent years, they've been rather reluctant to invest heavily midway through the season. They prefer to target the summer transfer window, but their success in the first part of the season and the first part of the second part of the season, it must have contributed to a shift in approach. Like, Arteta has already conceded that Arsenal may have to sign somebody. He has intimated that may have to happen to make up for the loss of Jesus. So how they navigate this will decide who wins the league. They're going to sign that Mykhailo Mudryk. He's put something on his Instagram. He's watching the game. He's over the moon that Arsenal have won. So they're going to sign him. So what they're going to do? They're going to stay with Nketiah. Will they potentially play Mudryk out wide and bring Martinelli in as a false nine? Will they potentially, Smith-Rowe coming back to fitness, put him out wide, put Martinelli through the middle, or stick with Eddie Nketiah? Eddie Nketiah has made a case for it this season. The other thing they could do, by the way, is potentially go and sign Dusan Vlahovic. They tried to sign him last year, didn't go their way, but they must be monitoring it now, particularly given the political and financial turmoil of Juve. So they have a massive decision to make, and I really don't know what the best one is, because Eddie Nketiah, look, he impressed towards the end of last season, he impressed tonight, but is he the striker to win Arsenal a league? Or at least play his part in Arsenal winning a league? I mean, potentially. Absolutely huge. But what a night for Arsenal. Any question that people had about Arsenal, anything that we were wondering, will they have it in them? They have answered. Arsenal have played 15 games and they are on 40 points already with a goal difference of 24. They are 8 points clear of Manchester City. Arsenal can win the league. They are totally capable of winning the league. And to put my cards on the table, painfully, I think Arsenal are going to win the league. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've all had a wonderful festive period. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me? Can you see Arsenal actually winning the league? If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please click subscribe. Have a wonderful night. In a bit.